Alright.
Alright.
We're doing Last of Us, Season 2, Episode number 3.
Season 2, Episode 3.
I didn't think this was the strongest episode so far.
Hey everybody, it's me Josh, and you're watching The Council of Comics.
If I'm being honest.
Well, no, I didn't think it was like the strongest. It's definitely like moving the story forward. Like we got the shock from like the last episode. And in the game, this goes even quicker than like an episode. Okay. So,
do you get the random people walking through the woods talking about the Prophet in the game?
That whole crew isn't like that's a whole like thing in the game. So yeah, those like not really those like that sect. No, I think you hear about what they showed. Stuff, in the game, but you don't. But they're definitely in the game. They're the what do they call them? They call the scars in the game. Like that's what the.
I just remember, I don't even know why I didn't think of it, but while watching the episode, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That's a new little twist, and I'm like, and then when they're dead, I'm like, well, of course they're dead because they show you just enough so you know who they are, but they have no. You don't never learn any of their names.
No.
So of course they're dead.
Yeah. I haven't really learned any of their names and stuff. Let me see. So overall, I thought it was like a pretty good episode. Because you know what? It's one of the differences in the game is they don't really have that town meeting.
Of course,
Tommy actually leaves before Dina and Ellie in the game.
Well, he hasn't left in the show yet.
Yeah, he hasn't left in the show, so he leaves before Dina and Ellie, and like Maria is actually like okay with them leaving. She's like, no, I'm gonna let you leave because I know I can't really stop you. So
exactly.
And she's like, and just bring my stupid husband back.
Right. I did like because I know it's not in the game because I saw some after interview. The guy who fought them at New Year's Eve was the one that outfit them with everything. He's like, look,
he's the one who lets them out.
I don't agree with everything, but we agree on this. So here.
And he actually backs her up at the
switch. My gun's better.
Yeah, he backs her up at the town meeting too.
Yes,
like, he was like one of the only few people in the town that like backs her up.
Yep.
So I did.
And
like
I don't even
part.
think it's because he likes Joel. I think it's just the principle of the thing. It's like we can't let this stand. So yeah, you do have to go after them.
Yeah. So and I was surprised. Like the town votes not to send. The posse.
The town council votes.
Yeah. Not to send like a whole posse after them.
Who do you think voted for?
Maria voted for it. Like I seen the after. Yeah, and then she was like a surprise.
I can't remember his name. The big Asian guy who was her ex-boyfriend. Do you think he voted yes or no?
I think he voted no.
I think he did too because he wouldn't look at her if you noticed.
But like he shows up in the game. Like he shows up in the game because in the game, like after the beginning part, it takes place in Seattle.
Okay.
And you go like it's 3 days of like Ellie's story of what happens in these 3 days in Seattle. Okay. And then and I'm in that part in the game where I did all Ellie stuff, and so like a lot of these characters I see, I'm like, oh, I know what happens to him. I know what happens to her. Right, I know. And I'm playing now. It's like you're playing 3 days of what Abby was doing in those 3 days and stuff.
I gotta get it. I have it.
So yeah, when you get like they just get to Seattle in the episode, that whole conversation of how would you rate the kiss?
Oh, is that on the way there?
That's actually happens before. That happens before Joel even dies.
Is that right?
Yeah, that happens in Eugene's like weed base there.
That was kind of an interesting scene. I thought the scene.
That's one of the things that's better in the game is that dialogue.
Oh, I bet because it just seemed kind of trite in the show. The conversation that I enjoyed was the one where Ellie has to talk to the psychiatrist lady before she's allowed to leave the hospital, even though everything else is fine.
Yeah,
physically you're fine, and then she's like, and then what does she say to her? It's too bad everyone else isn't as well adjusted as you, or else I'd have nothing to do. Or else would I get my weed and beer or something like that?
Yeah, something like. Yeah, because she had the conversation too out in the ball field because they're playing baseball.
That's right. I have season tickets to the Tigers.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, I thought it was an okay episode.
So, it's a good episode.
It moved the story along.
It moves the story along. I don't think there was too much. Like you said, you're probably still recovering from like the death of Joel.
Yeah.
Like one of the things they do right after they exit Jackson is they go to Joel's grave and she drops the coffee beans on it. So and that was like an interesting. Like that part was definitely not in the game.
Now, that box that she gets the gun out of. Remember she pulls the gun out?
Yep.
And there's a watch on top of it.
Yeah.
With a pair of jeans. Do you think she was going to give that to Joel?
No, the watch was that was Joel's stuff. The watch was his. It
was the one that the daughter gave him that was fixed. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, every time someone gives Joel a fixed watch, somebody dies. But okay, now it makes more sense. Yeah, because she went through. That scene where she goes. They talked about it in the after credits. That in most shows, you're not going to build an entire set for a dead character. Because you haven't seen Joel's house before this, but they built the whole set for her so she could walk around it and get emotional.
And that's what that is actually one of the scenes that's definitely and it's very close to the game.
Okay,
is that scene?
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't a horrible episode, but I didn't think there was any marquee moments in it. It moved the story along. I thought it was okay.
The story along. You got to see the scars. So what's happening is they're gonna get to Seattle, and Seattle is at a civil war.
Oh, is that what that is at the end? Okay.
The wolves are Abby's with the wolves and stuff, and the Seraphites. That's what they're called. The Seraphites are the scars, and that's the cult.
Okay.
And they are and the war is a little bit vicious. And
okay.
So.
It'll be interesting.
So yeah, they're walking into a civil war, and then there's also infected and stuff.
Oh, well, of course there is. Of course. So, well, because if you notice that the Seattle, the little bit you see of Seattle when they're walking in, it's overgrown. So all the plants have kind of retaken the streets. Yeah,
it's it's 20 years. It's 20 plus years since the outbreak. So Seattle.
Well, it would be, and I think it would be worse than that because anytime you watch those Discovery Channel, if humans died tomorrow, all of us died tomorrow, it's maybe a year, 2 years before. Well, so 20 years if they're not pruning all that stuff. Well, whatever. It's a TV show. We'll let it go. It's kind of like in the other show with zombie-like people where who's mowing the grass? Remember that? But yeah. No, yeah, I give this episode a 7. It's not terrible. It's watchable, but especially if you've been watching.
Yeah, I give it a 7.5. It's definitely it's just part of the thing now. Right. It's part of the thing. We're moving them along. They got to travel to Seattle. They end up right at Seattle at the end of the episode. They're pretty much at Seattle, and next episode I think is going to be good. I think stuff happens.
Yeah, I mean they all can't be high-strung bangers because you'd get tired of it after a while. So it's fine. Like I said, it wasn't a bad episode. It was just okay. I enjoyed it, but I'm hoping for something better coming on. And maybe this was set up. So.
Number 3. So yeah, number 4 will be next, and that'll be good. It's going to get good because the game has been very good so far.
The brightest day. Where are the heroes?